Hej, to jest Muzyka Fajen, czyli podcast, w którym jakiś losowy gość z internetu gada o rzeczach mniej lub bardziej powiązanych z muzyką i łudzi się, że kogokolwiek to interesuje. Dzisiaj mamy news od Paramore, Gorillaz oraz Yours Truly, a także rozmowę z wokalistą zespołu Nightlife, Hanselem Romero. Oczywiście nie mamy czasu do stracenia, więc lecimy z newsami. Paramore wydało drugi singiel zapowiadający ich nowy album. Utwór nazywa się The News i jest naprawdę bardzo dobry. Zdecydowanie bardziej czuć tutaj stary duch zespołu niż było to w poprzednim kawałku, czyli jest szybko, jest energicznie, ale w dalszym ciągu jest świeżo, to nie jest kopia ich pierwszych albumów. Brzmienie gitar, tak jak w przypadku pierwszego singla, jest zupełnie inne od tego, do czego nas Paramore przyzwyczaiło. Gorillaz również przygotowują się do wydania swojego nowego albumu i podzielili się, o ile dobrze pamiętam, już czwartym singlem. Tym razem kawałek nazywa się Skinny Ape i jest on co najmniej dziwny. Kilkukrotnie kompletnie zmienia tempo i vibe. Zaczyna się akustycznym intro, a potem przechodzi niemalże w hyperpopowy utwór. Szczerze mówiąc, nie jestem jeszcze w stanie ocenić, czy to mi się w ogóle podoba, ale na pewno warto sprawdzić, bo jest to co najmniej ciekawa rzecz. Yours Truly, czyli pop-punkowy zespół z Australii, wydało specjalną wersję swojej ostatniej epki i są to po prostu te utwory z ostatniego wydawnictwa, ale w wersji lo-fi. Więc jeśli ktoś lubi sobie posłuchać lo-fi na przykład do uczenia się, a jest też fanem Yours Truly, no to myślę, że całkiem fajna opcja. To tyle z newsów na dzisiaj, teraz zapraszam Was do wysłuchania rozmowy z Hanselem Romero z zespołu Nightlife. Szczerze mówiąc, dalej trochę nie dowierzam w to, że to się właściwie wydarzyło, ale tak naprawdę udało mi się namówić go na rozmowę. Niesamowita sprawa, to jest zdecydowanie najgrubsza rzecz, jaką kiedykolwiek zrobiłem. Pierwszy zagraniczny gość w historii podcastu, pierwszy mój wywiad prowadzony po angielsku. Niesamowicie się stresowałem, prawdopodobnie będzie to słychać, ale mam to w dupie. Bo moim zdaniem tak czy siak wyszła naprawdę bardzo spoko rozmowa. Pogadaliśmy sobie o nowej epce zespołu, pogadaliśmy sobie o planach zespołu, pogadaliśmy sobie o tym, jak wybuchli ostatnio na TikToku, co było dość nieoczekiwane i wielu innych ciekawych rzeczach również sobie pogadaliśmy. Zastanawiałem się długi czas, czy dawać tłumaczenie, czyli po prostu nałożyć taki głos lektorski, który by tłumaczył na polski tą rozmowę, ale stwierdziłem, że po pierwsze to by było bardzo trudne technicznie do zrobienia i strasznie dużo roboty by z tym było, a po drugie, przynajmniej ja osobiście nie za bardzo lubię tak słuchać podcastów, nawet jak powiedzmy nie zawsze rozumiem 100% słów, no to już wolę słuchać oryginał i uznałem, że puszczę tą rozmowę też w oryginale. Wiem, że mój akcent nie jest najpiękniejszy i zdaję sobie też sprawę z tego, że mój poziom językowy również pozostawia trochę do życzenia, ale wydaje mi się, że tak czy siak wyszło całkiem słuchalnie i przede wszystkim, no umówmy się, nie ja tu jestem najważniejszą osobą w tej rozmowie, najważniejszy był Hansel i wydaje mi się, że naprawdę bardzo dużo ciekawego info dał. Ja już nie przedłużam, niesamowicie się jaram tą rozmową, mam nadzieję, że będzie się Wam ona podobała. No i cóż, zapraszam do wysłuchania. Hansel, I'm glad that you found time to do this. I'm really stoked to have you here and welcome to the show.
Oh my God, thanks for having me and for asking. That's so sweet.
Of course, I want to talk about the new Fallback EP, but I would like to start somewhere else. You, Julian, and Isaiah, so the full Nightlife lineup, were basically DJs during the latest Emo Night in Baltimore. And for those who don't know, Emo Nights, from what I know, are basically your regular club party, but with emo alternative music instead of EDM or hip hop. And
That's basically it, yeah.
yeah. And I thought this was actually really cool. Obviously, I was not able to be there, but I just hope that your Instagram caption was serious and that you really played Stickly 11 times. But how did it all happen and how cool was that?
It was really sweet. So really cool. I hadn't been to any emo nights until last year when they actually asked us to do one as well. And it was a lot more fun than I expected. So what's cool is, the people that run the emo night in our town are like very involved in the underground like punk scene and stuff too. So it just so happened that they kind of know everyone that's come up around here and they're able to ask us, ask Pulses, other bands, Turnstile even sometimes, just be like, hey, you want to shoot through? So that's always cool. And it was really fun. I did lie. We didn't play Stickly 11 times. We did play it more than once though. And that was all I really wanted.
I want to talk also about the opening track of the new EP, First of all, Nightlife Type Beat is a great name, but secondly, I feel like the vibe of this track is kinda similar to some of the tracks from many Nintendo games, for example, Mario Odyssey or Mario Kart, and it's a huge compliment to be
Oh
completely
wow,
clear.
that's awesome.
And was it like intentional thing, or maybe I'm just weird and it's totally not this type of vibe?
No, you're not weird at all. It's never intentional, but I think the thing that I've had or I haven't been able to realize yet fully is that like I grew up playing so many video games and we all did, the three of us. So it just turns out that video game music happened to be part of what inspired us to love music so much somewhere down the road. So it just shows in what we make. So I know that like Sonic Adventure and those games were really, really huge for me in terms of the music. Um, and I know that a few of the like the Super Mario games were huge for Julian and a couple others. So it just makes sense that eventually, if we're making our truest selves in our music, that the video game stuff is just gonna come out. The Sonic corniness is gonna come out
Yeah,
sometimes, and I can't help it.
absolutely. Um, I wanna ask you one important question. Why Hard for Me is the most underrated nightlife track, and what as a society can we do about it?
I think if we find the drainers, we can make it better. We can make it more popular because we have some people that are like, "Yo, this is a little bit drainy, Blade, bro, Dang Gang," and I'm like, "Okay, y'all got it." Um, I didn't like say it anywhere like, "Yeah, yeah, owe it to them or whatever," but was definitely trying to channel what they were going for. So I don't know if we got to find more Swedish and Polish people to get into it because of Drain Gang. That might be the move, but otherwise, some songs are gonna be underrated. It's just
Yeah,
gonna happen.
I mean, as much as I love the soul punk side of the band, I also think that it's great that you find place for tracks with this more of an R&B or a pop vibe, and I actually hope that this balance will be maintained in the upcoming releases. I don't know if that's the plan.
Oh, it's always my goal to. I mean, all of our goals. I don't know why I say it like that. All of us want to be as thorough and as well-rounded as we can with the music that we make. So if we feel like making more soft stuff, like if we feel like throwing a little like 90s R&B section at the end of a 2020s R&B song, we can and we will. So I think it'll keep happening a little bit more.
And speaking of upcoming releases, I know that we're not that far away from the Fallback EP, but what is more possible, at least at the moment, for the next Nightlife release? Third EP or maybe first full length album?
So I know that people don't want to hear this, but it's probably going to be another EP, if not two. I promise we're working on an album, but here's the thing. And I know that this is also I don't know about language or whatever, but this is like the bitch out answer. But in any case, we want to practice a lot more. Or at least I do, at the very least. We're making a lot of music right now. We actually have like 7 or 8 songs that are kind of like in the middle of being made, if not like 9 or 10. Which is cool because for the first time we're kind of like, okay, maybe we can kind of work on an album and set some stuff aside for that. And we are. Some of these songs are just kind of we're finishing them, but then we're kind of saving them for the album or whatever. Um, but the point is that EPs really give us a chance to kind of experiment with concepts, with trying to create cohesive bodies of work, trying to make it an experience that's worth with the entire runtime and all that. So an album is a lot of pressure with regard to that. You have to perform on like a 35 to 40-minute scale instead of a 17-minute scale or whatever. It's just that much more difficult. So we want to make sure that we do it right the first time. And I know that's kind of lame, honestly, because we should just be doing this and making what we want and just kind of letting what happens happen and learning that way. But I really would love to have our first album just be exactly what we wanted to say.
I mean, I don't think it's lame at all, actually, and I don't mind EP or maybe even two EPs. And I actually really respect that you don't want to push it, but release it when it's really okay to do it and not just push it, because we all love the concept of receiving a full length album, but realistically speaking, it's a lot better to release another EP at the moment for you.
I think at least one makes the most sense, even all things considered. But we do want to get to the album, I promise. And it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be, if it's anything what I have in my head as of right now, it's gonna be like a combination of our best songs plus like a lot of new stuff, a nice order of it all. And I shouldn't get too ahead of myself, but it'll probably end with like a very long version of New Low, but we'll get to that when we get there. Um, that kind of thing. So there's something to look forward to, but we're gonna work on it.
Okay. And actually, speaking about your future plans, can we expect the first nightlife live show in the next year?
Oh yeah, that is the priority. As much as we love making music, and as much as this is why we're doing this thing, we all love playing live, and we've done it for years and years and years. We just haven't done it with this band yet. So I think we're a little bit nervous because we all know that we want the live show to be as good as our experience together makes it or could make it. Um, but we'll see how that goes. In any case, I think that y'all can expect live shows at the very least. You can expect like tours by the summer, I would say. I don't know where they're
Okay.
going, but like maybe summer and like fall, I think we'll start looking into some actual tour spots.
And also, it was really great to see you guys blow up on TikTok recently. And I always wonder if blowing up on TikTok actually helps in growing genuine fan base. And what I mean by that is, I remember when I was listening to the interview with Kevin Jordan from This Wildlife, and he said that even though that one of the This Wildlife songs was once added to the biggest acoustic Spotify playlist, he only met one person that said, "Hey guys, I discovered you because of this playlist, and now I'm a huge fan and bought ticket for your concert." And I wondered, how is it in your case? Are there like many people who say that they discovered you guys because of TikTok? Or do you feel like this huge exposure and numbers, for example, on this collab with Loveless, I think you had like 2 million views, something like that.
Yeah, it went crazy. This is an amazing question.
I wonder if like it necessarily equals new fans or maybe don't really.
So, again, awesome question. I might go in a little bit, so bear with me and I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's
Um,
okay.
so with the blow up on TikTok, there was a very specific, there are like three things that happened. We had the little blow up on TikTok. So it's only really the two things. It was TikTok, and then on Instagram it happened again. And I guess I'll just talk about those two separately. So on TikTok, because there are a few things that happen. One, the TikTok that blew up was a cover of somebody's song that at the time hadn't been out yet. But also to that end, it was a cover of somebody's song. So we gained like 40 something thousand followers on TikTok because of that one video, which is insane. I can't even conceive that number. But what's interesting is that those are people, for what I understand, like that found us and were very normal people and just found us for this cover or for this cool thing that we did. And they kind of expect or think of us as that, like that is what we do. And that's one thing. Put that aside. The other thing is that both Instagram and TikTok make it a little bit more difficult to hit your followers than you think. And a lot easier to hit new people. So, despite having all those followers come on board on TikTok, it's a little bit more difficult to get them to really be interested in the music itself, in not cover or something else, which exactly. And that's fine. That's what it's for. So, we will be using TikTok for covers and such, and that will be a thing, and I'm not worried about it because there's still a certain novelty on Instagram in reels for older people, not for people younger than me. And I'm 26, about to be 27. I'm getting old, but for people that are slightly older than me, there's still a certain novelty on finding things on reels on TikTok or on Instagram. So one of our songs, "Fool Me Once," actually blew up on Instagram. So instead of a cover, one of ours. And what I was going to get at with the TikTok thing was we didn't really see that much of a lift in terms of our listeners and our size with that. But the Instagram, totally different story. Totally different story. So we've gained about the same amount of followers on Instagram as on TikTok with that other one. But our like listener numbers have like doubled or something. It's like insane. Um, and a lot of these people did something that I wasn't expecting, which is like they found and liked Fool Me Once and then they stayed. And that's not, when you're getting big off of TikTok or for a cover or whatever it is, I can't expect them to stay because that's a experience thing. They're there for that thing that they like and then they leave, and that's fine because that's what we all do. But these people like a song, they found the others, and I don't know. They stayed for whatever reason. So the numbers just keep going up and things are different. Is long, whole, caffeinated rant summarized. Like things are different now because of that IG reel. And lots of exciting things are happening for this band because of it, which is
Yeah, I was actually gonna say this because I check your monthly listeners nearly every day, and
oh
and you can see that "Fool Me Once," which blew up on Instagram, like you said, is now your top track on Spotify.
yeah, it happens so fast. It's
Yeah,
probably, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's probably gonna hit 1 million before New Love,
yeah,
which is crazy to me.
I think it will. It doesn't have like the most streams yet, but I guess it's just a matter of time.
It really, like 3 months from now, it might be that they're right next to each other with that, and that's such a crazy concept. And even cooler, I can't talk about things that haven't yet happened yet. There just might be another version of it and all this other cool stuff. It'll be cool.
I know you kind of confirmed it on Twitter some time ago, but I want to hear it officially, and we all as a society need to know this. Are you going to be featured on the new Issues project?
Oh my God. Good question. I don't know an official answer. Um, I would say, without stepping on any toes, sorry, Skylar and AJ, if you guys are listening to this. Um, I think that if there is a new issues project with a bunch of collaborative singers or even just a few, I think that I'm pretty high on that list in terms of the people they want to work with. And we have written together already before. I've sent things to them. They've sent demos to me, all that. So it's like, it's a thing that's begun to happen. I wouldn't say that I'm going to be their singer or anything like that. I think that they're going to make a really cool decision and do a lot of collaborations. And I think that one of those cool collaborations will be with us. And that's super exciting to me and my inner child and everything. So that's dope.
Yeah, I mean, they made this pretty clear a lot of times that they are not going to look for a new singer and they're just gonna stick to features. So I just wanted to know if you were one of them.
As officially as I can say, I'd say it's pretty high chance.
Honestly, I cannot wait to hear it. And I
You and I
also,
both.
yeah, I also want to talk about something that I guess you can call a meme or inside joke of the nightlife community. I think it happened between the first and second EP. And for those who don't know, basically everyone was saying that Anthony Fantano, also known as the Needle Drop, who is like the biggest music journalist on YouTube, has reviewed your first EP and gave it a perfect 10 out of 10 score, which is super rare for him. He's done literally thousands of reviews and only gave a perfect score for like 7 albums. And obviously the point of the joke was that he didn't review your
It
first
would
EP.
never, that definitely happened. Don't worry.
Yeah, I mean, it will happen. It's just a matter of time. But this whole joke actually kind of worked because of it, he eventually talked about nightlife in one of his videos, which was super cool. And I just want to know who came up with this joke.
uh, I don't know. It might have been me. If not just somebody like Kayla is one of our, she runs like a meme page of ours
Mm-hmm.
or like a fan account, and it's really cool of her, and she's just so funny. Might have been her, might have been me. Either way, that is some crazy subliminal marketing if that worked out that way. Because part of me just thinks that Fantano like saw the reply and was like, "Who is this?" and whatever, because somebody like replied to him for that video and whatever. So there's a chance it was just like, "Oh, who are these people?" But if it is that he actually saw us bothering him for weeks and weeks and decided to just check the name out, that'd be funny as fuck. So might have been me. Great joke. Look forward to many. Listen, we love music. We are doing this because we love it. And as such, like if you take it too seriously, like you're missing the point. So expect us to fuck around a lot. I love making little jokes. We might change our name for shits and giggles for like a whole release just to be funny. Like we'll see what happens. There will be like so many nightlife type beats, just like the 1975 does that every time. There's gonna be so many of them, and that'll just be a running joke of ours as well. So
Great.
we'll keep it going.
It's December already, so I guess I can ask you about some of your favorite projects of the year. Are there any, or maybe you didn't hear anything special this year, but I guess you did.
Yeah, no, music sucks. I
Yeah.
hated everything. So My favorite album from this year is most likely the Chat Pile album. I don't know if you've heard it. They're like a noise rock sludge metal band from like Oklahoma. Really grimy American shit, and I mean that in like the exact way that it sounds. Like they make fun without even trying. They make fun of like the worst parts of America just because they exist as a part of it. It's very poignant, despite me not being able to describe it well. So it's very cool. Um, that's up there for albums. I don't know. Beyonce's up there as albums. Rosalia as well. In our world, Bad Omens' album was really, really good. They produced it themselves and all of that, and I think it just sounds so impressive. Really liked it. And oh man, that NDP, that split with the Cult
Oh
Leader
yeah,
and End. Whoo, I love
yeah,
that
it's
thing.
great. Yeah.
Generally in the band, we all love kind of the same things in the band in terms of where we land musically, but we all have our little pockets. And I would say like the heavier stuff goes to me. I really like, you know, grindcore and death metal and stuff like that. And Julian really likes like deathcore and like gent and like the depths of that. And then Isaiah is more of like a weird kind of wild card with that stuff, which is super cool. So yeah, expect that just is the exactly the answer that I would give. It's just like a heavy album and a really heavy EP because I just love getting blasted in the ears.
Actually, I've heard about this first nightcore band that you pointed out. I forgot their name.
Chat pile.
Yeah, exactly. I've heard
Mhm.
about them, but I haven't heard the album itself yet. So I guess I will have to do it.
I mean, not to interrupt and be a nerd or whatever, but like I'll play it up a little bit. The album cover itself, when you look at it, makes you feel something. It'll be very interesting to see what you feel. And they specifically like I think they produce it themselves as well. And their drummer specifically uses like an old electronic drum set from like the 90s. And the sounds are completely unaltered. So it's just like a robotic 90s ass electronic drum kit pounding along while they do all these chuggy new metal and sludge metal things. And it just adds to the whole like uncanny, like, this doesn't sound right. This kind of sounds like it's messed up vibe of it. Um, so I think that they're really dope. I think their vocalist is crazy. Highly recommend it.
Okay, I just added it to Spotify, so I guess I know what I'm gonna listen to today.
It's a weird one. Enjoy.
Hansel, it was an absolute pleasure having this conversation with you. I hope you had a good time, and if there's...
I did. You're so kind.
Thank you, Anne. And if there's anything you would like to say at the end, maybe say hi to someone or advertise something,
Ooh.
now it's time for you to do this.
I would like to say hi to my mom, and now I'm gonna do that at every podcast. I'm gonna do that from now on. Hi, Mom. I love you. And I will advertise. I don't know. We're working on a lot of music. Like I said, I don't know when it's gonna happen. And in fact, there's like things happening behind the scenes now. So I some things will be out of my control. I'm gonna try to keep the music coming as much as I can. So expect new stuff early in the year. I would hope. Expect a steady stream of stuff from us next year in general. Expect the live show to come and stick around. I don't know. We're still figuring out what this whole thing means. And if y'all are down to figure it out with us, like, you're going to like what happens next. I guarantee it.
Great. So once again, thank you so much for taking time to do this. Take care and have a good one.
Have a good one, y'all. Thanks.
I to by było tyle, jeśli chodzi o dzisiejszy epizod Muzyka Fajen Podcast. Dzięki wielkie za wysłanie go do końca. Jeśli słuchasz tego podcastu na Spotify, zostaw po sobie ocenę, najlepiej 5-gwiazdkową, będzie mi bardzo miło. Pamiętajcie też o dzwoneczku, w przeciwieństwie do YouTube'a. Spotify akurat zawsze wysyła te powiadomienia, jeśli ten dzwoneczek klikniecie, więc również będzie mi bardzo miło. I przypominam też standardowo, że w opisie tego podcastu znajdują się linki m.in. do mojego serwera Discord, do mojego kanału na YouTubie, na Twitchu, na TikToku i tak dalej. Wszystko tam znajdziecie. Ja już nie przedłużam, dzięki wielkie raz jeszcze za wysłanie tego podcastu. Życzę Wam miłego dnia bądź wieczoru i do usłyszenia w następnym epizodzie. Hej!